Hey everybody, how y'all doing? How you doing? Welcome to Jerry Talk interviews. As I interview some people who have YouTube channels and their own personal business owners, everything. I want to personally thank for Jerrica coming up to my channel. How you doing, Jerrica? Sister
I'm doing
Jerrica, I'm
well.
sorry.
How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm doing wonderful. So tell me about uh, the people that do not know about you. Tell the people about you and about your business.
Okay. Well, hello everyone. My name is Jerrica Russo. I am the CEO and founder of Urban Visionaries. Urban Visionaries is a full service marketing agency, and what we do is we work with small business owners and entrepreneurs, helping them to push their vision, whether it be through your branding. So, I am an experienced graphic designer. I've been a graphic designer for nearly a decade now. I've worked with everything from everyone from churches to small businesses to major organizations to colleges to nonprofits. I've worked with a little bit of everyone. I wanted to bring that expertise to help entrepreneurs to push their brands and what they wanted to do. So we do graphic design, photography, and videography, as well as branding strategy. So we really are a full service place that really comes in and helps entrepreneurs push their vision to the next level.
What made you start your own business?
Sure. So I'm going to be honest with you. So I am a bit of a serial entrepreneur. This business is not my first business. It's actually my fifth.
Mhm.
Yes, I believe it's my fifth business. But I started my first business back in 2015. I was a recent college graduate. So I graduated from the illustrious Tuskegee University back in 2014. And I was a struggling recent grad, rather. I couldn't really find a lucrative job in my field. And so the only thing I could do at that moment in that small town was work at a makeup counter. So I was a makeup artist back then, and so my first business was actually doing makeup. So I was a makeup artist for a little while, and just progressed into other things. And now here we are 10 years later, and I am doing Urban Visionary. So I really started based on a need. I needed um, some income. So that's why I started my first business. I needed some income, and it just progressed into something that I actually love and enjoy.
Who was that your was that a God calling or was that your idea of getting your business started?
Sure. Back then I didn't know that it was a God calling. Back then it was just something that I could do to make me some money on the side, something
Mhm.
that I could do to pay some bills. Right now, I do believe that this is a God calling. So I saw
Mhm.
Urban Visionaries in a dream. I saw this business. The Lord is giving me strategy for this business. So now it's truly a calling of mine. Anybody who knows me knows that I am an encourager. That's what I do. I'm going to push you. I'm going to encourage. I'm going to be the one clapping on the sidelines. And so mixing that with my spiritual beliefs, believing in God, being a full-hearted Christian, I attend, Jared, the great Spirit of Truth Church in Atlanta, Georgia. And so mixing my belief system in God and my foundation, and really leaning on that solid rock in with my business expertise and the things I've learned over the years, I do really feel like it's a God calling now, but that's not necessarily how it started.
Were you nervous starting your own
When I
business?
started Urban Vision, yeah,
Yeah.
well, when I first did it, not really, because I didn't really take it serious. Like it was just something to do on the side, like to make some money at first. Now I'm more nervous because now I'm really taking it seriously. The beginning stages of a business can be a bit tricky. Trying to find kind of your stride in things can be a bit tricky. It can often be discouraging sometimes. So now I get nervous, but back then, no way. I just went for it. Like I'm doing makeup, call me, and that's what we did back then.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that idea later on. That about people getting makeup. But do you enjoy doing? Do you enjoy doing what you're doing now?
I absolutely enjoy doing what I'm doing now. So being able to pour into others, being able to see business owners go from point A to point B is extremely rewarding for me. It is something that makes my heart leap with joy. I love being able to really see the fruits. I know we always talk about, of course, the Bible talks about, bearing good fruit, bearing much fruit, and how we should bear fruit in the earth. But the reality is, sometimes in a spiritual sense, you don't see that fruit. But being able to watch the fruit grow and sprout, and really watch the harvest of how business owners have gone from point A to point B with my help, is really something that's extremely rewarding for me, and something that makes my heart smile.
What was it? Do you have any help start up your business, or was it hands on hands on business?
Sure. So, yes, I do have help now. In this business, I have a team. So, I'm super excited about that. Of course, I'm the head visionary, but we do have a brand strategist, which is Janelle Albert. We have a videographer, which is Kristen Jones, and a photographer, which is Kedrick Marshall. So now I have a team I'm super excited about. We are like really excited about really helping owners, business owners, to move to the next level. So now I have a team, so I don't have to worry about doing everything by myself per se, but I'm still the head visionary. And so that comes with its own struggles. I
So
am right now, I'm the one funding it. Right now, I'm the one really pushing the vision, getting clients, pushing us. So yes and no. I have a team that helps kind of help me push out the products that we need to push out. But when it comes to making the hard decisions and doing what's necessary, it's me.
is it are you the founder of your business, or you just
I am. I am. Hmm.
so you it so your craft went from the bottom up, right?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. I've worked my way up into this point, absolutely. And that's why I feel like I'm the best person on social media. You see a lot of people that are talking about, oh, entrepreneurs, da, 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 but they have not been through the grind of what it means to be an entrepreneur. And
Hmm.
because I've experienced that grind in many different facets, I was a makeup artist. I sold t-shirts for a little while. I had a women's ministry. I was a graphic designer. I'm still a graphic designer. And I still have that business, which is Jerrica Design It LLC. I still have that business that I'm fostering. But because I've been in different industries and have worked in different places and have been able to experience different things, I have a different viewpoint that I think can help business owners have a more well-rounded expectation and understanding of what entrepreneurship really is.
What's the hardest part of being a business owner?
The
What's the good
hardest
thing?
part,
What's the good thing and the bad? What's
okay,
I'll be asking like my guest.
sure.
What pros with the con of being a business owner?
Pros and cons. Okay, so the pros and cons of entrepreneurship. I'm gonna start with the cons first, and then we're gonna end on a positive note. The
Hmm.
cons of being an entrepreneur is the fact that you don't have anybody to depend on. If you don't work, you do not eat. There is no one coming to save you. There is no one that can come do it for you. If you don't get out and do it, then it's not going to get done. So that's a con. Whereas when you work in a corporate space, or for a 9 to 5, or when you work for someone else, you don't have to really worry about a lot. You just do what you were hired to do and go home. An entrepreneur, you do it all. I'm the marketer. I'm the accountant. I'm the HR professional. I am the customer service representative. I am the CEO. I am everything. The lead generator. I'm everything. Right? I don't have anybody to depend on. It's me. And so that's a con, because sometimes, you know, in human life, you go through ups and downs, and sometimes you just need a break. Sometimes you don't feel like getting up and posting on social media. I don't
Right.
feel like sending emails. I don't feel like doing these things, but you have to do it because there's no one else to depend on. So that's a con to it. But a pro is the freedom. I'm able to really create a business and an atmosphere and a structure that works best for me and my vision. I am not confounded to the binds of doing things that I have to convince a CEO to approve of, or I have to convince a boss to go in. I can do what makes, like, what leads me, what I'm led to do in business, without any confines. But at the same time, you have to face the repercussions of that. So it's really a give and take. But it's more pros than cons, for sure, hands down.
What do you do you give them out as a business owner? Do you set your own hours, or do you have a like a set schedule where you like going to work, coming home?
Sure. So that's a really good question. So I do set my own hours. But I do have set times now where I'm really trying to get in the groove of getting up at a particular time, starting work at a particular time, finishing work at a particular time, because that just helps with more work life balance. And a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with that because we're not confined to, oh, I work from this time to this time. It's just you work till you get it done. Sometimes that work life balance gets a little tricky, but I am trying to do a better job of setting times and hours for myself. And one of the ways that I do that is I leave my home. So I have an office space that I use, and I go to that office space and I push myself to work until a particular time. I take lunch breaks, I go get lunch, take a break, whatever I need to do. But in the grand scheme of things, I do make up my own hours. So if I, have something I want to do or need to do, I can shift my time that way. But I'm trying to push myself to have more of a schedule and a routine.
Did you st- did you ever work with somebody else before did you start? Did you start working for somebody else, or did you actually like start for your like for your own?
You mean this particular business or just in
Yeah,
general?
yeah.
Which one?
Did you,
This business?
I said, did you start your? Did you at first? Did you start your bit? Did you start working for somebody, or did you actually did you start on your own?
Sure. So a little bit of both. So of course I do have a corporate career that I have always been a part of. I just became a full-time entrepreneur in February of this year for the first time ever. And
Mhm.
so up until that time, up before that, I did work in a corporate space. I am a person to where I am not opposed to getting a job. It's okay. You can be
Mhm.
a working entrepreneur. One, because I, of course, will use that job to fund my dream and what I'm trying to do.
Mhm.
And also you're just able to see things from a different lens when you work in a corporate space. You're able to see how they have things structured. Excuse me, my allergies, so my eyes and stuff are
Fine.
watering.
That's
You'll be able
fine.
to see that structure that can help you kind of structure your business better. But as it pertains to urban visionaries, no, I have never worked in urban visionaries under anybody. This is my baby that I birthed myself. But in the grand scheme of things, yes, I have had a corporate position before, for sure.
What was the well? I was gonna ask, what was the longest have you worked before you started doing? What was the longest um tender have you done before you actually started your own business?
The longest job I've ever held was I was a admissions counselor, recruiter, and marketing specialist with Tuskegee University for about 4.5 years. So just to go down my corporate resume, I guess you will. When I graduated college, I started work at a mental health hospital. So my degree is in my bachelor's degree rather is in psychology, and I thought I wanted to go that route. So I
Mhm.
worked there for about 2.5 years. Realized that I did not want to do that at all. And so I moved to Tuskegee University where I was an admissions counselor, recruiter, and marketing specialist, which is where that marketing kind of background started. That's where I developed the love because I started to have to do it. I mean, that was my job. So I got into the marketing space, held that job for about 4.5 years, moved on to Auburn University, where I was the student recruitment coordinator for about 2 years, moved up here in 2000 and what's the year this for? I moved up here in 2022, literally from that job to a student program manager position up here and worked that until February of this year. So
Wow.
I've worked this entire time. So the entire time I've been an entrepreneur up until February of this year, I always had a corporate job. I always had a career that I was building as well because I am an advocate for that, right? But some things happened and I was thrust into full-time entrepreneurship and we just been rocking it out ever since.
No, I don't pick on the about the business thing.
Sure.
Were you um when you first started your business,
Sure.
were you like do you had doubts of having your own business, or do you had something in mind? If you didn't have your own business, what would you be doing if you didn't have your own business?
Hmm. That's a wonderful question. If I didn't have my own business, what would I be doing? So I would probably in be in the marketing space still, because I think that that's something that's just embedded in me. It's just something that I like to do. But I would be more so in the public speaking space. So I'm a really good public speaker, always have been. And so I will be doing something like a Dr. Batista when she does the TED Talks and different things like that. Motivational speaker. I think that that's something else that if I wasn't an entrepreneur and if I didn't take that route, I would certainly go in that space. But that is a really, really, really good question. But I think it all kind of ties in. I feel like I would land in the marketing space anyway, like regardless of what it is. But if I didn't want to do my own business, I would definitely be somewhere in public speaking, or something in that capacity, something like that.
So when you speaking of that, if you
Mhm.
would like you say, if you were doing the like what that particular doing, are
Mhm.
do you like being around people like crowds or anything when you if you were doing like
That
public speaking and stuff?
that's a good question, Jerry. You're asking some really, really good questions. So, do I like crowds? No way. I am actually a really big personality. I have a lot of energy. I love to have a good time. I love to joke. I love to do all these things. But I'm really an introvert. And I don't think people realize that. I'm one of those people that can be like an ambivert. Like when I'm outside and I'm comfortable, I can be really extroverted, but that's only for a certain amount of time. And then I want to go home. Like I want to be away from people. So crowds actually freak me out. I absolutely despise crowds, but because of my corporate career and the things that I've done, I've had to speak to large crowds of people. I've
Mm-hmm.
had to do public speaking in those spaces, and being in church, you do that. I mean, that's just a part of it. And so I've learned to cope with it. But do I just naturally like it? No way.
Yeah, yeah.
No way. I want to go home.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I understand. I've asked this question a lot. Like, if you never been
Yeah.
around down the people, especially in church, you
Yeah.
ever? I know it's that sometimes you come to church and you have a good time, but
Right.
most times you be gone for like 10 you be gone for 10 minutes.
Right. Right. Right.
Oh, like you be
Yeah,
gone.
I don't, like I said, I think it's because I have such a big personality, that people they get me confused. They think that I just am an extrovert, and I'm like, it's a lie, people. It's a scheme. I want to go home. I don't want to be around anybody, actually. I just want to go home.
You just
So,
want.
it's one of those things like, when people are called to a particular space, when people are called to a particular way of in ministry, they may be called to preaching or pastoring or singing or leading or whatever.
Mhm.
Oftentimes, that's the area that they are not least comfortable in. Like I feel like the Lord has called me to crowds. The Lord has called me to public speaking. The Lord has called me to leadership, called me to these things, but it's not something that I necessarily want. If I had my way, y'all would never see me. Like I would
So
just be at
you
home.
get you get a dietary attack when you around people. You get a dietary what's that
I get
diet?
anxiety for sure. And I'm like, I don't know what to say. Like, what am I don't know. I freeze up. And I use humor as a way to mask my anxiety. I'll like crack a joke or something like that. But in real life, I'm like inside, I'm like, I have no idea what's happening in this moment. So let me just crack a joke and just so
So
to just feel better.
what the what's the best thing being a I'm not asking that question, but I'm going to ask this again. What do you love? I mean, best thing of being a give me one good word. What's the best thing being a business owner? One word.
Hmm. One word to describe being a business owner, the best thing about being a business owner, freedom. The freedom. I'm free to which in freedom in itself has pros and cons. I'm free to do what makes my soul happy. I'm free to do what I think is best for my business. But the pros of that is just that you have the freedom, but the cons of that is you have to face the consequences of your freedom too. So there's no one else to blame for whatever happens other than you. You know, if your boss tells you to do something and you don't necessarily have the freedom and you're just doing it because your boss tells you to do it, if it doesn't work out, that's your boss. They told you to do that. But when you're in your own business, you are the boss. So you really only have yourself, yourself to blame.
So basically, so basically you're the business owner, you're the boss. You just don't have to. You just feel you have just freedom for yourself, huh?
You have to fend exactly, you have to fend for yourself. And again, that comes with both pros and cons. So the
Did you
freedom, I love the freedom.
do you have ever like have second thoughts? I mean, second thoughts, doubts of
All the
being
time.
other being able become one.
All the time, actually. So I'll be transparent to say here recently, I'm like, am I doing the right thing? Because when it comes to ownership, I think we get tricked by social media and people think that being a business owner means like immediate fruit or you see your efforts paying off immediately. Everything is just we want it quick, we want it right now.
Mm-hmm.
But oftentimes your business is not microwavable, right? And I think about Jerrica designed it, right? That business now has grown to be something that I'm extremely proud of, but it took 6, 7 years for me to get to that place. And so it's like, you have to be willing to face the frustrations of I'm putting in a lot of effort, but I'm not really seeing the fruit, understanding that you're putting in effort, you're sowing seeds into your future. And it's just like that scripture that says, some plant, some water, but God gets the increase. It's a process. You might be the one that plant, but you don't see the increase till years later. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to stay the course. And so going through that, it definitely, makes you discouraged from time to time for sure. It's definitely something, questions that I ask myself, am I doing the right thing? Am I making the right decision? Are people enjoying it? Is it really making a difference? Do people really care about what I have to say? These are all questions that run in my head, but the thing remains true that this was something that God gave me. And if He gave it to me, He's going to breathe on it. I just got to be patient and wait on Him to do so.
Like you said about was it uh was it hard for you to get the job that you wanted? Do you have other jobs in mind before you like, what kind of job I want to do? Like, if I'm get out of college, do you ever like sit down and think about what you want to be in life?
Oh, sure.
Besides being able building on, do you ever like sit down and like, hey, I want to. You ever like sit down and think about what you want to do the rest of life?
Yes, I actually did. So, like I said earlier, when I first graduated college, I just knew that I wanted to be a therapist. And I actually went to school for therapy. I just didn't finish the degree because my school lost accreditation. But I was going to school for therapy. I wanted to be a Christian counselor, which meant that I would be a therapist in a church setting, or I wanted to be like at the Potter's house. I wanted to be their resident therapist, where their members could come to me for this kind of blah blah blah, blah whatever. And so that's something that I've always wanted to do, and I still may, go back and do that later. Just not right now, praise God. So I mean, there were definitely other areas that I sought out, things that I thought that I wanted to do, but nothing really felt like home other than what I'm doing right now. Right now, it feels like this is what I'm supposed to do. And of course, I still have those questions like, okay, I'm 32 years old
Mhm.
and I'm thinking about retirement. I'm thinking about life insurance. I'm thinking about setting my children up. I'm considering all these things. And these are things that entrepreneurs, especially small entrepreneurs, when you're first starting out, you don't necessarily consider. In 20 years, 30 years, I don't want to keep hustling, hustling, hustling because I haven't set back retirement. Whereas in a job, that's automatic because they already have those systems in place. And
Mhm.
so all these things run in my head all the time. But again, I lean on the fact that this was a God given idea. And if He led me to it, He's going to lead me through it. Not just for my now, but my future. My children are going to be taken care of. My husband is going to be taken care of. My future is taken care of. I don't need to worry about that. I just need to focus on the now and do what God told me to do, and He'll handle the rest.
That's good. That's good. I mean, obviously you came a long way from
Long way.
starting and where you at now, and you say you love
Sure.
what you're doing, and there's nothing else in mind that you don't want to do.
Sure.
Is that right? Is that correct? There's nothing else
That's correct.
in mind that you don't want to do besides what you're doing right now.
That's true. There's nothing else that I think I will be successful at other than what I'm. And it's crazy because I didn't realize that until this particular moment. There's nothing else that I think I would be good at doing. I'm happy in my soul about doing other than what I'm doing right now. And I still haven't reached the full potential of what I'm doing yet.
Mhm.
And so, like I said, I think this was a God given thing to put me on this path. And I'm really excited to see where it leads. I'm just taking one step at a time and letting the Lord lead me.
What kind of advice do you want to get to the people
Sure.
upcoming business owners? They want to be one, and second for the chat. If you got any questions for her, go ahead and ask her any questions you got for her. So if you have any advice for upcoming business owners or therapists or whatever, what you want to say to them?
That's a great question. If I had to say anything to any upcoming business owners in the chat, I would say this: you have to follow your passions. I think that entrepreneurship is a calling, is one of those things that's a calling. And if you're not called to it, it will be something that you would give up on because every day is not beautiful. Every day is not good. Every day is not clients. Every day is not paid invoices. And you really have to lean into, am I called to this thing to keep you going? Just like in anything in life. And so if you feel like this is something that you want to do, my urge to you, or my I teach you, dear brethren, that you really pray about it and ask God to give you strategy on how to make this thing work. Because, like I said, it has its challenges. Of course, it's beautiful. The winds are amazing. And being able to watch something that you build come to fruition is great. But you really need to sit with yourself and figure out, okay, what is it that I want to do? Where is it that I want to go? And don't stop until you get it. Just like in life, entrepreneurship has its ups and downs. But you have to lean on that scripture that says, in this world, you will have trouble. But fear not, for I have overcome the world. God has overcome every challenge that you may face. And if you just lean on Him, even in your business, He will sustain you. I am a living witness. I never thought, I always wanted to be a full time entrepreneur, but I know my spending habits and I know that I like expensive things that from time to time, and I like to eat crab legs and different things like that. Hello. I knew that I knew that now was not the time, but my thoughts were not his thoughts, and he said, "Is now it's time, daughter." And he pushed me out here, and by the grace of God, he's given me the will and the know how to do it. And every day is not easy. There are certainly challenging times. There are times when I want to give up, but because I'm leaning on Him as my solid foundation, it's getting done. And I thank God for that. It's attributed to nobody but Him. So you take it from me. Lean on God and allow Him to be your business partner, and watch your business grow to new heights. It's gonna go to places you never even imagined.
What the? Do you ever had any crazy? Do you ever had any? I'm gonna put it this way. What the? Do you ever work long hours? Or you? I know
Oh
it's
yes, yes. So a few days ago, I was working until about 5 a.m. So yes, there are definitely some long nights. There are definitely some sacrifices that have to be made, but you got to get it done. If you don't work, you don't eat. So you got to make it happen.
so basically sometimes when you have a deadline, you have to get it done before a
You
certain
got to get
like
it done.
certain.
Absolutely.
Okay. And you normally get home at what, like what time? What's the latest time you get home from from work?
It just depends on the day. So today I got home around 3. That's so I could eat, lay down for a minute before I had to get ready for this interview. So it just depends from day to day. It just depends. Every day is not a long day. Some days are super short days. It all varies of upon what
So
projects I
you,
have going on at the time or what I have to do. It just varies.
okay. Do you ever do you ever fall asleep at work sometime?
Do I? No, I don't fall asleep at work, but will I take a nap if I'm tired? Absolutely. So if I'm up like late the night before and whatever, and I get tired, yes, I will take a nap and rejuvenate myself. Absolutely.
Do you ever do you ever take vacations when
Yes,
something get really tough on you? I mean, does work ever get tough on you sometimes?
yes, work absolutely gets tough on me. Another con about entrepreneurship is there are no paid vacations. So I don't really take days off as much as I would like, but yeah, I try to for sure.
Okay, that's. I mean, I know you enjoyed it, and sometimes when you come to church, sometimes some Sundays you come to church, some Sundays you just I don't. You ever feel like you don't want to come, you don't want to go to work, and I want to sit in the bed. You ever feel like that?
Absolutely, absolutely. There are days when I'm like, I don't feel like making content today. I don't feel like answering emails. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to do this. I don't even want to open my computer. I just want to play video games all day and mind my business. But like I said, you don't work, you don't eat. I look at these bills that are due, and then I'm moving the due date because I'm an entrepreneur. They want their money, and so I have to work.
What you had? What's the most client you ever received as a business owner?
The most clients. What do you mean?
I mean, what's it? What's the most? What's it? I'm gonna try to answer this. What's the most um time you ever spend time at? I mean, do you work like every day, or do you work like 3 days a week?
Oh, every day. Every day.
Like,
Sundays, no, because Sundays in Spirit of Truth are jam packed. So Sundays, no. I really try to take my weekends.
mhm.
So Saturdays and Sundays, I really try not to work. But Monday through Friday for sure, I'm doing something.
So you don't, and it don't have and you don't have a particular um time you go to work and get off of work. Like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. They'll yeah, she actually by mistake sent she there you go. Okay,
There we go.
that
How about
that
that?
but hey, get used to it. I mean, hey, welcome to my world. This is my world. This is how I do my YouTube channels,
Right.
and I know I had Twitter comments on my phone
Uh-huh.
on my live to, on Monday, and it
Mhm.
was a good live. So sometimes people do that. Sometimes pressing the
Yeah.
wrong button. I get it. I get it. I know it's first. I know this your first time being on my channel. It's the first time being on my world kind of thing. So this is my life over here because I that's what I do. So, but yeah, one last question before I leave out of here before we go about today.
All right.
Um, what the you love what the good thing? Well,
Mhm.
let me think. Let me try to get let me try to get this question in.
All
What
right, I'm getting
the what what the how long you, you love being a okay? What the if you love being a business owner? If, do you have to be on time as a business owner, or do you have to be there's like if you like, let's say let's put me as your
Okay.
employee. Do you have do I have to be at work on time? Do I have to be like dressed professionally, or what kind of attire do people um have to do when they apply for a job like this?
Sure. So, the unique thing about what I do is that we all work remotely. So it's not like I have an office space, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Praise the Lord. It's not like I have an office space where we all come to do our work. So work remotely. So there's that, and we're project based. So I do expect. So for example, my graphic designer and brand strategist, right? I do expect them to return items on time based on the deadlines specified for that particular project. But my videographer and photographer, I do expect them to be places. So if we have a shoot on a particular day, I do expect you to be on time, and on time means to be early, because with the, the things that take place with those those shoots, you have to set things up, and so if my client is scheduled at 2 o'clock, I need you there at 1:30 to get y'all everything you need set up, so when they come in, they're ready to shoot. And so, yes, timeliness is definitely a thing of entrepreneurship, specifically in what I do, but it's a little bit different. It's not like report to every day at 10 a.m. It's more project based. If we have something going on, I need you to be on time for this particular thing, or I need you to return something on time for this deadline. So it's a little bit different, but yes, timeliness is still wanted and desired.
I was looking on your on my page and I saw you doing a photo shoot.
Hmm.
What kind of what do you? How long does the photo shoot takes when you do those kind of good pictures? How long does it take to do those professional pictures?
Sure. So it depends. Again, we have different packages. If you want headshots, then that generally takes about a little under an hour. But the photo shoot that you saw that I particularly did, that was a 2 hour
Mhm.
shoot. But in that shoot, we did photography and videography. So that was 2 hours.
So what do you when you get done with those? Where do
Uh-huh.
they go after you finish with those photo
The
shoots
pictures.
and everything? Yeah.
So usually my photographer or videographer, they put them in a Dropbox file and send them over to me. And we'll do the
Hmm.
same for particular clients. They'll get a certain amount. So just because you shoot for 2 hours, that doesn't mean you'll get all those pictures. You will just get the best, however many, based on the package that you chose. You'll get those back. So we send them in a Dropbox file and send them to you as the client, and then you do with them however you see fit. So for me, because I'm a graphic designer, I post them as is, but I also make graphics and different things from those pictures. So it just really depends.
It depends on the what the client wants.
Correct.
The
Depends on what
picture
they like.
wants. Okay. Okay.
Correct.
So,
Mhm.
do they have like do they need an appointment for the photo shoot? Do
Yes.
they? Okay.
Yes. So for anybody who's watching who may desire to have a brand shoot, or Jared, if you desire you want to do that in the future, all you will need to do is contact us via my email. I mean, not my email, excuse me. Contact us via my website, which is www.urbanvisionaries.net. www.urbanvisionaries.net. You reach out to us, we will set up a consultation where I'll go over our packages. We'll go over your needs to figure out which one works best for you, and then we'll schedule that moving forward. So we'll come together and pick a date that works best. You tell us what you're looking for, and then we'll schedule it that way.
Do you travel or you had to put
Yes.
in one spot? You do.
Yes, we do travel. We do have a client now that is in California that we're working on travel arrangements for that. So yes, we do travel.
So so you have people at what kind of what state do you have? Do you have in Georgia or you have in all in different states for photo shoot? Or
Sure. So the unique thing about this business is it's not bound by a particular state. So we can
mhm.
either come to you. My laptop's actually gonna die, Jared, in a minute. So we're not bound by a particular location. We can come to you,
Mhm.
you can come to us. Now, of course, if you come to us, then we're here in Atlanta. But we do have clients in Alabama. I have clients here. I have a client in Canada. I have a client in Nebraska. I have a client in California. I have some in Texas. I have some in Florida. So they're everywhere. It's not because of the nature of this business. It's not a necessity that you live in Atlanta to
Okay.
access the
Okay.
services that we offer, for sure.
Okay. So it's not just um one state. It's all over the
Correct.
place. So
Correct.
it's Atlanta the main um campus for the
Of course. Yeah, of
Okay.
course. So Atlanta is going to be your main hub because that's where I live and that's where my team, that's where we live and reside. So of course Atlanta is going to be your main space, but it is accessible to anyone from anywhere. I can do something for somebody in London and they'll never have to cross the pond. I'll never have to cross the
I was
pond.
gonna ask you about that
So,
question. You want to spend it overseas
yeah,
internationally?
Urban Visionaries International for sure. Of course I do. Yeah, if the opportunity presents itself and it's a good opportunity, then absolutely.
And okay, in that case, I that was my case. Thank you, Sister Jerrica, for coming on my channel
No problem.
and share all your business and stuff. I would love to have you back very soon,
Sure.
and have more I have more questions for for you and other people. Since you're my third person from Feeling the Truth, which is amazing, and I would love to keep my this channel growing. So if I'm if you have any people who have a business,
Uh-huh.
just um just tell them about me, about my channel, and
Absolutely.
they'll come to me. So
Absolutely.
I would love to have that. But I would thanks again for coming by, and I would love to have you back very soon, and I will drop you down.
All right.
So I'll go ahead and drop you down real quick. All right, y'all. That was my member at my church, Sister Jerrica. That was an amazing interview. I'm glad people came through. Show some love to my channel, and I will have another. There will be another interview on November. No, on October 30th. Um, at 8 o'clock on this channel. I will have unique weapon on my channel. So that'll be at 8 o'clock on this channel, and that'll be the the last of the interviews of October. So in November, there there are a lot of those interviews in November. So I want y'all stay by and show some love for my interview. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, everything else. And I would definitely definitely have you on my channel. So like I said, if you have a business or a YouTube channel, email me, DM me on Instagram, or email me on I'll send you my I'll let you know about my email. So I will have you set on my MB channel and get everything going. So I will see you on this channel Wednesday night. I will be going live on my main channel Wednesday morning, tomorrow morning at 10:15. But I will be here at 8 o'clock with unique preference. So un- for that, I'll see y'all tomorrow night on this channel. Peace.